guys, here's our week 3 review. We started with timeline. I don't have it on my board. I just had the cards loose and we mixed them up. And so I had groups of 3 go together while the rest of the class sang. The group of 3 had to try to put them in order before we finished singing. And they had to put them in order correctly. So there's a couple times they got 1 or 2 mixed up. So we kept going, and then eventually after we ran out of groups of 3, like individuals wanted to try it, just so we could get those 7 rounds in. For math, I brought in some big squishy dice, and so the girls got to roll until they got doubles, while the boys were saying, just going through the multiplication tables, 5 and 6s, not stopping. And then as soon as the boys stopped at 5 times 12 equals 60, and the girls got the doubles, then the boys would grab the dice and they would start rolling while the girls picked up right there, 5 times 13 equals 65. So they would just keep going where they left off. And we did that several rounds. They didn't get tired of it. We just had to stop because we were running out of time. For Latin pronouns, I did this with my youngers this last cycle, and I thought it might work for the olders. Not as well. The olders just a little bit more crazy with it. But we sang London Bridge. So we had 2 people hold their hands up as they were the bridge, and then at the end of the song, they'd come down and person trapped had to say Latin pronouns to get out. And the song goes like this. Hic this hoc sane, ipso ipsum him, cui whose quod that, eam it illum him. So that was fun, and we ended up having to stop a few rounds short of 7 so they could just come and sing it a couple times without the distractions of the game. For English, we just did voice sticks on this one. Very appropriately had a British accent one, since we're talking about the British East Company in history. So we just repeated this several times with silly voices. I did give them an example of, I brought a boiled egg for lunch. Boiled here is a past participle. It's a verb plus ed being used as an adjective. It's describing what kind of egg I brought. I shared Psalm 8:3 today because we're in our science experiment. We're talking about our fingers and the fingertips, our fingerprints. So I shared, when I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have ordained. For science, we had one of 3 types of muscle. 3 types of muscle are skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. So they got to see what these types of muscle are, and I went back and reminded them, what are the 4 types of tissue we have? And they quickly spelled it off: connective, epithelial, muscle, nerve. I'm like, muscle. So muscle's the type of tissue, and here we have it broken down even further. We have 3 types of muscle. And as we said it again, they would hang it back up to its proper name. For history, we had tell me about the Boston Tea Party. As usual, I just erase the words, and the words that I erase, I won't say it. I have to listen to them say it. But we listened to the app, the song, 1 time through, so it says it once and it sings it twice. So we listened to that, and then I start erasing while they sing the rest of the song to themselves. And it goes like this. In 1773, colonists disguised as Mohawks dumped tea from the British East India Company into the Boston Harbor. For geography, they just traced the states, and we went through. We always start at the beginning singing our song because it's really helpful for them to just have that song memorized so they can have those connections of the capital and the state together. So we start at the beginning. And then this song, if you don't have it, it does change the tune just a little bit. But it goes, Annapolis, Maryland, Richmond, Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Washington, D.C. And we talked about how Washington, D.C. is not its own state. It is the capital of the United States. And we actually, during review, had plenty of time left over today, so we started map blobbing. And if they have a map blob of the United States, they just have the Northeast because that's as far as we got today. If they finish it, I told them I would bring them a treat. I have that written down, so I'll remember. So yes, I'll give them a treat if they bring in, if they don't finish that one and they want to do a new mat blob. If you guys want to go over mat blobbing at home, it's really crucial and good for them at this age because they'll be mat blobbing and drawing the United States, drawing the world, and challenge. So bring in a mat blob and I'll hand out a treat. For science, we did the fingerprints. It went great. It was cool to see everybody's fingerprints, and they tried to decipher whether they have the loop, the whorl, or the arch. And then for art, art did not go as planned. It was fine. We drew our upside down Indian, but it just went super quick. And we actually started early because presentations ended quickly. So we have plenty of time left over, just kind of play around. So they tried drawing their name upside down, which is harder than you think because a lot of them drew the mirror image. They were drawing from left to right when they need to be right to left. So that was fun for them to try to figure out. Some of them drew pictures upside down. So we just kind of played with it for a while to fill in that time. But it was a great week through, and I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you for week 4.